Welcome to Bedtime Stories to Fall Asleep. My name is Vulcan, and in today's episode my goals are two. First of all, I want you and I to have the best time tonight together in this episode, in this whole series that I'm creating right now, starting right here with you tonight. And second, my goal is to help put you in that wind down pre-sleep state so that in the next 1 hour or 2 hours when you do fall asleep, you go and you feel more comfortable, more relaxed as you do so. So that is what we have here. Does that sound good? It does. Fantastic. So let's get started. With tonight's episode, we have Oscar Wilde coming in with the story of the Happy Prince. The Little Prince is another story we have tonight. The Happy Prince and the Little Swallow. So let's get started. Once upon a time, we gotta start with a once upon a time. What story is it if it's not starting that way? And before I get into that, actually, I want to ask you a question. Imagine that you could get 1 year of normal restful sleep, but in order to get that, you had to remove somebody's eye out of their socket. You heard me correctly. And that person is totally cool with this, by the way. He wants you to have good sleep, and he knows that by removing, he's willing to sacrifice his eye in order to give you good sleep. All you need to do is take your fingers and take out that person's eye. Would you do it? Well, you might be asking also yourself, why am I asking you this question? Well, and you may be feeling, well, this is not going to be like other bedtime stories. You're right if you're thinking that already. This is probably not going to be like other bedtime stories. And why I'm asking you this question, well, you'll find out in just a few minutes. For now, let's get started. So, the little swallow. Once upon a time there was a little swallow. Winter was coming, as a character from a series with a throne with lots of swords used to say. Winter is coming, and the winter is coming in the little swallow's town, so he needs to go to Egypt where it's warm and cozy. So that's where he was headed, to the warm and cozy place of Egypt, to rest under the sands and sunbathe under the Nile River right there. And as he was flying towards Egypt, he found this nice, luscious, rich city with a tall statue of a happy prince, a golden statue, and he decided to rest for the night in that place. And by the way, do you know what a swallow is? What is that bird? It's a bird, obviously, but does you know what it looks like? Well, you can totally Google it. Just go into Google Images, type swallow, and now that I think about it, typing swallow into Google Images, that may result in some weird search results. So maybe you don't want to type that, or maybe you do. No judgments there. Anyway, let's continue with our story. The little swallow, he was going to Egypt, and he just decided to rest in a big city with a tall statue, golden statue of a happy prince with 2 sapphires, 2 blue gemstones for eyes. The little swallow rested at the prince's feet. He put down after a full day of flying around. He was tired and ready to fall asleep. So he put down his black head under his black wing, and he closed his black eyes. And he started breathing in and out and in and out, to getting ready to fall asleep. And as he was dozing off, splash! He felt water pouring down all over his body, and he awoke. That's a very nasty way of waking up, by the way, isn't it? Imagine you were sleeping at night and somebody took a glass of water and they splashed it all over your face. That is so nasty. Obviously, that person would need to be sent to an electrical chair. And that is kind of what the little swallow might have felt in that moment right now. Who did this to him? He looked around, there was nobody there. He looked up in the sky, were there any clouds? Maybe rain was pouring down. There wasn't a single cloud in the air. Not a single drop could have fallen down. So where did that water come from? And as the swallow was looking around, he saw the statue of the little prince was weeping. He was a happy prince, but he was crying. So the swallow, he got curious, what is going on here? Why is the so-called happy prince sad and crying? So he flew up in the sky immediately, and he went to the happy prince, and he initiated a conversation with the happy prince. He talked with him, and the happy prince told him this. The happy prince told the little swallow that he had kind of a Santa Claus special ability. He could see inside all the homes of his citizen with his 2 blue gemstones of eyes. And right now he was looking into the home of this man who was lying in bed, and he was crying because he could not fall asleep that night. He was having restless sleep because his bank account was going low. He could not afford to pay his rent next month, and he was afraid that his landlord might knock on his door in just a few days, maybe even tomorrow, and ask where's the rent. Is he gonna pay the rent? Because he was also back on his rent from last month. So the man was right now in bed, falling and turning, frustrated, his mind buzzing with all kinds of thoughts, and he would not fall asleep. And the little prince was sad about the man. He wanted to help this man, but obviously he is a statue, so he could not just go there and help him. So he asked the swallow if he could help the man who could not sleep that night. The swallow, of course, asked how could he help him? He's just a little swallow. Well, the little prince told us, the happy prince told the swallow this. He told him to take out one of his blue sapphire eyes, give it to the man who was unable to fall asleep, and by doing that, the man could take that gemstone and pay his rent and have the money that he needed. The swallow did not want to half blind the happy prince, obviously. He told him that, but at the same time, the little swallow was also open-minded. This was very weird. The prince was willing, he wanted him to do it. So finally, after asking the little prince, making sure that he is okay with this, after making sure he was okay, he told him, alright, I'm gonna do this. So he took his little beak and he pierced right through the princess's eye socket, grasped his blue gemstone of an eye, and he slowly plucked it out of his eye socket. And then he flew to find where that man was, going on to an adventure. Now, about 10 minutes later, let's fast forward, the little swallow was flying right outside the window of this man who was unable to fall asleep. And as he was flying right outside his window, looking into the man's apartment, he saw him crying. See, the man was not just crying, he was sobbing loudly. Tears, big tears were coming down his cheeks, even bigger they seemed than the tears of the happy prince, because he was feeling so sad. He felt like he could not do anything to help his situation. So the swallow, he quickly went inside his house, he dropped the blue gemstone on his bed sheet, and he went outside just as quickly. And as he was flying outside of his window, he looked at the man in his bed. The man got up as he felt the loud thud on his bed sheet. He took the blue gemstone, he looked at it, he turned it around and around, and he became happy. He became happy. tears continued flying down his cheeks, but this time they were tears of joy because he realized he could take this blue gemstone and for the next year he would be set up. He had what he needed. He didn't have anything to worry about anymore. He would have a good night of sleep that night. He realized, and as he realized that he could have a normal restful sleep that night, that he was well and everything was good and he was in good hands, he went to sleep, and that night that man slept peacefully. And you, by the way, if you want to, you can also realize that everything is well in your world as well when you are in good hands. Now, the little swallow went back to the happy prince and he reported what he had done, and the happy prince, he congratulated him for a job very well done. He thanked him from his happy prince's heart, and the swallow, feeling, after going on this new adventure, feeling this sense of happiness and joy and pride of being an adventurer and being open-minded enough to actually pluck out the prince's eye out of his eye socket, he went down at the stone slab, at the golden stone slab of the prince's, at the prince's feet, and he put his black head under his black wing, using his black wing as a pillow, and he closed his black eyes. And that night he also fell asleep, and he slept peacefully and well. Now, this will end the story right here for tonight. However, next time, let me just check. I have a few notes here to make sure I don't forget what we have coming up. Let's see real quick. So next time, okay, I cannot find where I have written it, but what we have coming up is another character. That's right. Next time, coming up on Bedtime Stories to Fall Asleep, the prince is going to ask a little swallow another favor to help another of his citizen, and this citizen is a little match girl who's getting beat up by her father, and because she is getting beat at night, she fears falling asleep. Why does she fear falling asleep, and how does that relate to her father beating her? Well, you can tune in next time to find out what's gonna happen with that girl, and also, will the swallow go into another adventure, or would he choose to go to Egypt instead? Tune in next time. And next time, when is next time? Well, next episode. So next episode is gonna air on Friday, but when it comes to the swallow and the happy prince, tune in on January 17th. So 7 days from now, that's when part 2 of the swallow and the happy prince is coming up. So make sure you tune for that as well. And by the way, as I leave you now, I want to ask you, have you watched the previous episode about the cock and the fox? It's my first episode inside the Bedtime Stories to Fall Asleep. It's about a brave cock and a fox who is kind of like a Voldemort, a very evil fox. So you may want to check that one out as well to find out some interesting information about circadian rhythms and body clocks. It's a little bit more informational, that first episode, but anyway, this is it. That is that. Jag hälsar dig in Gunet och in good day. Have a good night and a good day tomorrow. My name is Vulcan. I'm going to see you very soon. Good night.